You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Pete, you almost got your wish, but there's still a lot of story to tell here. Welcome back to the Nerds Podcast. I'm Pooba, and that's Pete. And as we continue to go over all your fandom that you enjoy, please make sure to subscribe and like. It's the best way to support the channel. And don't forget to smash that bell to get notified when the channel's new videos actually come out. Pete, let's get into this conversation. Episode is the finale for Alien Earth. This one's called The Real Monsters. And it's a three-part question, Pete. Are you happy with the season finale? Did the series, what's the score for the overall series for you? And do you think there's going to be a season 2?
So I'm happy with the ending. It finished strong for me. And I know that, and I was kind of, weary going, as we're watching the series, I'm a little weary of how it's going to go, and it's kind of lagging, a lot of dialogue, but it did finish strong the last 2 episodes. You asked what was my score. I would give it a 7 because of the last 2 episodes and it finishing strong. They did tease it where we would get a season 2. So I would think that they are. They haven't announced it yet, which is a little concerning, which is a raised eyebrow. So, but we'll see what happens. Maybe the fact that it did finish strong, we'll see the word of mouth, see what the reaction from people are, and we'll see if we get a season 2. I think that it's set up perfectly for one. That doesn't mean we'll get one though.
Yeah, Disney usually does a really good job of giving off their seasons. I know you've mentioned it for other things like Daredevil that you mentioned before, where in the middle of season 1, they're already talking about season 2. And I think you said there's a season 3 as well. So it's very confusing why they wouldn't have announced this right off the bat. So I'm curious about it. But for me, it was a lackluster in the sense of too many plot holes for me that I want to see fulfilled, and it didn't get fulfilled the way I wanted to. So for me, it's a solid 6. But I always say this, telling the first part of the story is never easy. So I'm curious to where they're going to go. I'm looking forward to a season 2, but I'm not 100% sure that Disney and Hulu and FX are going to commit to a season 2 because there's such a love-hate relationship with this show. But let's get into this. We start off with Arthur's body, the xenomorph, which is roaming crazy on the island. He's getting his rocks off, and he goes to the body, and there's a crab there. And I want to know, did you laugh? Because I did, because the crab was like, hey, what's up? What's good? This is mine. So anything for you there?
I did laugh because I'm like, damn, the crabs is eating this dude. And they just left him there. But then the xenomorph is there. And like I said last time, Pitbull off the leash, man. This is not an ideal situation. And in the last episode, we're seeing it now. Like, look, being reckless with this type of stuff. There's a xenomorph roaming an island where they're pretty much stuck. And there's a xenomorph roaming the island. So, yeah, it's as bad as it can get. But yeah, I did laugh when I saw the crab. I did laugh.
We go to Dr. Sylvia now in the next scene. She's at the gravesite. She sees all the children there, of course, and she reminds me of that whole thing, that whole concept of hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, because she understands all the evil that she's done so far, but she justifies it for the most part, which I can. She almost romanticizes that whole portion of the kid's death and moving of the body. I think she says something towards the nature of growing pains, and this is why they're kind of acting out. I don't know how much we get there, but she turns around and there's a xenomorph. I thought she was done. What's your take?
Yeah, I thought she was cooked too, because she could be with Arthur, she could be with her husband. I thought she was done, but somebody came to the rescue, kind of distracted him, chased him away, or chased it away. I keep labeling it him, but it's chased it away. and she was lucky, super lucky, because I thought it was done. I thought she was done.
I saw them shoot the xenomorph in the head, but it almost like ricocheted. What do you think the reason behind that? I don't understand that portion of it.
Maybe they just had the caliber of ammunition they're using is not strong enough. That's the only way I saw it. I didn't think too much about it, but I saw that they somebody hit it and kind of chased it away. Even though I don't know why. I don't know why, because it hasn't shown that it's scared of anybody yet. So I don't know why.
Yeah, because it can take out a whole crew. You're absolutely right. It can take out a whole crew, but I don't think it saw where the bullets were coming from because it was focused on the doctor. But I'm also thinking that they're using lower rounds or lower caliber to what you're saying, because for the most part, I think Boy Cavalier sees these as his toys. I think he claimed it to be his toys, and he wants to keep them safe. So I think that's where I agree with you in that sense, where they're probably using a different caliber only because Boy Cavalier had asked them to. Now we're gonna go over to talk about how they're alone on this island, as you stated. So Morrow pretty much cut off their network on the landline side, and then they're also getting satellite cyber attacked on the island. So they have zero communication at this point in time. That's actually pretty scary because they couldn't even ask for help even if they wanted to. Kind of great for, of course, the Yotani group. But did you like, oh my God, they can't even communicate at this point? Did that go through your head at all?
Yeah, I mean, because of what they said, I think they mentioned the cyborg did something to affect that. So yeah, again, a bad situation just getting worse. And this is, but again, this is classic TV. Okay, this is the end. So everything is kind of, manifesting in the last episode. And that's part of it. Them having no communication is just a part of the setting where it makes it even worse for them. Like, okay, we have to deal with this as well, plus the xenomorph, plus the Lost Boys, plus the troops, all that. So yeah, I'm not surprised that everything started falling apart.
Listen, when they lost power, I shook my boots. But Kirsch said they had some battery power in the sense of down low. They had their own power supply. So thank God for that, because that would have been mayhem, even though we're going to get into it, a little bit of mayhem inside that lab room. But of course, we go to where the hybrids are at. They're in the jail cell. And then Boy Cavalier's talking to Kirsch about everything that's kind of going on. Kirsch is kind of second guessing his decision making because we get put out. He has an ADHD, which I guess makes him smart in a sense because he's so focused on hyper focus on that stuff. And he's telling him to leave the island. I know you would have gone already. You would have been on the first plane out. But at this point, he's not looking too bright anymore. What do you think?
Yeah, episode 2 or 3, I would have been gone.
Absolutely.
I think his arrogance is what is starting to show, and it's not benefiting him either. It's taking him to the wrong side of this situation. Like I said before, you're dealing with things you don't know. These things are deadly. You see what it did to one of the Lost Boys, and you continue to want to inch closer to the fire. It's getting warmer, but you said, oh, let me go a little bit closer, and that's what I think he's doing. But that's his arrogance is what's pushing him to me.
Nah, man, take some more of those pills, kid, because you need to wake up. But the Lost Boys inside the jail cell are kind of blaming each other for different things. They try to throw Curly under the bus, saying that she was a snitch. And I do like the fact when Curly said, I was the favorite, Marcy, Wendy, however you want to call her at this point in time, put her in her place and was like, Wendy was the favorite. And Peter Pan got mad when she got older and took her daughter, Jane, which is Curly's real name, which is crazy to think about that. And Disney did a movie. I think it was Welcome Back to Neverland. They actually did that part where Peter actually took Jane. And I thought it was kind of genius to kind of show who Boy Cavalier is. He's not the savior to these Lost Boys as he had claimed to be. But here's an issue that I start having with the show at the end. Wendy then actually looks into the monitor, and she can almost see Boy Cavalier, and she starts echoing that sonic clicking thing that she has with the xenomorph. I think she's too powerful, bro. Like, they just made her way too powerful. When did she become Neo from the Matrix? Did you have any issues with what I'm saying?
No, but again, like you said, it kind of came out of nowhere. I was just like, okay, well, this is new, but I just figured that because she was the first one, maybe she's got these abilities or she is the strongest one because she was the first one. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think, again, I didn't have an issue with it, but I just said, okay, this came out of nowhere. Is she evolving? Is it something that she's just discovering, being that she discovered that she was able to communicate with the xenomorph, so now she realized that she has this other ability to, like you said, it looks like a power over machines.
Yeah. Or just plugged into the whole Prodigy network.
Yeah, exactly.
Type of thing. Yeah, that makes more sense for me, in the sense that she may not be able to do this with other electronics, but anything that's Prodigy that she can make, because she was made by the same company, that she can tell, because she did it when she was looking at her brother when he was asking to leave as well with the computers. But I just think, like, man, you're making this person way too powerful. But regardless of what it is, I actually did laugh when Cavalier was talking to the guard. He goes, "How do you feel about your eyes?" or something like that, when thinking about who he's going to put that eye in. But listen, Morrow and Joe are also in a jail cell. And I can't tell you how much, when he asked for a Cohiba, a cigar, how happy I was to hear that. But I love how when, Joe, was asking him, was he on the marginal when it crashed? And his comment, that was yesterday's conversation, and I don't look back. That was such a dope line. I'm going to copy that on a couple of things. Did you like that banter between the both of them?
Yeah, it was cool. Morrow is just none of these people matter to him, and he's done a good job of showing that throughout the entire series, the entire season. Yeah, he was just like whatever. Found it a little weird. I mean, I would hope that he was struggling to find the conversation point by asking somebody for specifically a Cohiba, because who has like an extra Cohiba in their pocket? Just yeah, here I have an extra one. It's not like a pack of Newports. But yeah, it was cool. I saw the way, and then that led up to them breaking out, and he almost killed
Very
the guard.
cool how he had that thing on his arm, right?
Yeah,
how they had his heart. Yeah, that was actually, you're gonna see that on some X-Men thing to hold back powers or something of that nature. I think they had the thing on the Deadpool movie that they had the thing around their necks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, again, smart play on them. I like the visual behind that one. Very, very cool. But then we go back to these Neverland troops, right? And their Siberian is escorting the doctor back to her thing. And this is kind of like Joe's crew, right? In a sense. And like, could they not see that the elevator was a trap and Wendy was messing with them, saying that it was going to explode? I mean, that was crazy. Did you not think that?
Out of left field. I was just like, okay, this was again out of left field. But yeah, she was playing with them because she switched it off when she saw them escaping through the top. So I guess she was having fun with her newfound abilities.
Yeah, well, her newfound abilities got Joe and Morrow out, and they escape. Joe at this point wants to save everybody, and Morrow goes, "You better get the children. I'm gonna burn this place down to the ground." And as you should.
Yeah.
But I really got excited when Morrow came behind Kirsch, reminded me of T2, Schwarzenegger versus Patrick. Did you like the fight scene there?
Yeah, that was good. That was a good fight. Between and because it was both of them, I thought it was these are the two that should square off, being that there was some type of build up to that. So yeah, that fight was good. That was a good fight.
The bullet hits it. I'm gonna call it octoplant. I don't know the name for this as it stands today. The octoplant, which is octopus and a plant at the same time. I'm probably gonna go on a limb here, and I watched the trailer for the Badlands Predator movie or show that's coming out. I think the plant is from their planet because if you notice, the plant actually kind of gets camouflaged for a little bit, and I'm thinking that they reverse engineered that so they can use it for the predators. I may be going too far here, but I'm just saying that's what I think is going to come out here. But, for the most part, Boy Cavalier, is walking towards this jail cell. He does the stupid thing with the ball. It's annoying. It really is annoying. But when I tell you that it was probably the part of the movie, the show, sorry, that actually made me go, oh, is when he was trying to talk to them as if he was simply completely in control. And Wendy goes, snaps her fingers, doors open, and she's like, yeah, now tell me that story. What a power move. What a power move. That was a wow moment for me. Tell me how you felt about that.
Now it's getting interesting because, again, I've been waiting for this guy's downfall, and that was the beginning of it. They realized what he's really about, and they showed him once she snapped her fingers and opened that door, the tables turned. She showed him they have the upper hand, and you could see it on his whole demeanor changed, and it should have because he was scared because he knows what they're capable of.
But he dared enough to walk in there and then also admitted that he created a synthetic that killed his dad. Now that, again, this is all spoilers, so Adam, who we find out is synthetic, has to be the one that he created, right?
Could be. Being that he was so loyal to him, I would say yeah.
Yeah, so then as he tells his story about him being the smartest guy and his dad was jealous of him, so he killed off his dad, which is crazy to think that. She gave him the run. Like, hey, wake up. You better bounce from here right now. And then, of course, at the same time, she's calling the xenomorph to come through back on the pipes. And he jetted out, put on a bulletproof vest. Like, what's that going to do for you? What's that really going to do for you here?
I thought the same with the bulletproof vest.
And then this guy's a trillionaire. He's only offering $1 million. Yeah, go ahead and die. Get out of here.
Die, bro. Die.
So, but we get Joe is out, of course. He runs into Adam, which, of course, sets him up with the Tialis, I apologize, the Teocelus fight in the room. Like, you knew what Adam was doing, right? As soon as he picked them up from the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't. I did not.
Oh, I knew. I was like, oh, please, Joe, don't go with this cat. Please don't go with this cat. But, okay, so I'll let you, from your point of view, you're surprised he walks into the room and the goat is there.
Well, the goat is not there because that canister where he was at was empty.
Right. But the goat was in the room.
Exactly.
Kind of just waiting, right?
Yes.
And again, another plot hole for me, but I'm going to get into this. I want you to walk me through since you were surprised and you're like, damn, Joe's dead. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, well, I didn't assume he was going to be dead. Again, been watching TV long enough that the main characters don't usually go down like that. And but it was a setup to and he said, and Cavalier has said that before, I'm going to feed you somebody weak, when he was speaking to the goat. So he was he was set up, he was thrown, that was the sacrifice to because he wanted to have a conversation with that. And the only way, I guess, to have a conversation would be to have the Teocelus occupy a human as opposed to a goat. So, he started, I was like, you better get into that canister. The door's open, you better get in there. And he did. But then it looped around and got into where the food cut, where they fed him. So, but of course, then there's a struggle there. The same way Nibs was kind of fighting it off in the and I believe it was the second episode. And and of course, Wendy comes to the rescue.
This is the plot hole that I talk about. So you're telling me, I mean, this plot hole is so big, it's like a hot dog through a hallway. Um, that means that Theophilus could have gone out anytime he wanted to. He could have gone out anytime he wanted to. I don't get it now. Like that you had this thing could have had Boy Cavalier a long time ago, which was the smartest guy in the room. So that's the part where again, where my score for this show starts coming down. But we'll continue and we'll let them get away with this because it's a TV show. It's all fantasy. Did you think it was cool the way she stopped Adam?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's when she like really realized what she's capable of and what are the limitations as well. But yeah, it was cool because he got on my nerves too.
So of course, as all that's happening, Joe and Wendy are having a conversation, and he starts telling her like they're predators. We're food to them. And this is the part where she's no longer his sister. She goes, "You're food to them. I'm not." And this, I know there's a comic book where there's an alien queen, and I'm thinking they're gonna try to go this route because she's just way too powerful for the most part for me. Did that part hit you at all?
When she said that, yeah, I was like, okay, let them know what like you know where we really stand. Like, no, it's you. You're the food, not me. I'm good. I can talk to them, but yeah, I think you got something to worry about. So you better stay close to me.
So the Neverland troops get to the lab, and Siberian gets nabbed up by this plant, and the plant actually, I don't know if you saw it in slow motion. I did. It's moving the gun to shoot the other guys. Like I knows what it's doing.
Yeah. I didn't think that it was they did it, that he deliberately did it. I just thought that because she's got caught up. She's firing blind. I didn't necessarily say, oh, it was that making it happen. So, I mean, you saw it different. I didn't see that.
Then the scene that I was rooting for you the most. I was so hardcore rooting for you. You got Boy Cavalier. You got the alien on the roof. It looks so dope. You had the troops behind them. She tells the xenomorph to go after the troops. And I know what you were hoping for. I know you were like, do it. Tell me about your disappointment here.
I know why it didn't happen, because then there's nothing to lead into the second season. Because as we see what happens at the end of this episode, yeah, and maybe she was a little bit selfish. Like, no, he's mine. Get rid of them so we don't have to deal with that. But no, I'm going to take care of him. I saw it like that. Not really disappointment because, again, he's a main character. It's not going to just happen where he gets, but he's getting what he deserves at the end of this episode, because he realizes that what he thought he was before, he's not really that. So he's getting a rude awakening, I think, in this episode.
No, rude awakening is an understatement for the most part. They have him tied up like Jesus against the railings in the jail cell. So then you have Kirsch, Morrow, you got the Doctor, Boy Cavalier. All now they're locked up, right? Because they're the real monsters, right? And maybe that's the thing, or Definitely. Are the synthetics the real monsters now?
No, I see it
now that they have the kind of all full control.
I see it like you just said.
I agree with you. Yeah. So do you think that Boy Cavalier was happy to see Wendy kind of taking over? Because he had a smirk on his face.
I couldn't tell you what the smirk was about. I have no idea. We don't know what this guy's thinking. He could be happy that they didn't kill him. He could be, I don't know. I have no idea. I noticed that too, and I was just like, why is he smiling? Like, you're not in control right now. But he's a weirdo, so.
I think he's smiling because he created a being that's more smarter and more powerful than him, and that's his creation. So that's what he's smiling about. But then we got to get to the end of all this, right? So while at this point the synthetics are now taken over, we get the Theolysis going into Arthur's body. So we get more plot twists, right? At the end of all this, we have Yotani's troops landing on the island, And, you know, we end the show with Wendy saying that, you know, it's us now. And, you know, I got to give it credit to the visuals were really good in this show. I really enjoyed, like you said, the last 2 episodes really told story. I am looking forward towards the season 2. Pete, you're looking forward to season 2?
I wouldn't say looking forward to it, but curious to see if it happens.
I'm curious as well. Well, folks, please, again, if you're enjoying the show, like, subscribe, talk to us. Please comment. We really do enjoy those to really see your perspective when it comes to things. For Pooba, for Pete, take us home.
We will return.
The worst episode ever.